Welcome back to the Express at the Vancouver Mini Maker Faire. Now this fair is all about the community coming together and sharing their creativity. And that's what our next story is about as well. Rise Alliance helps a new store open every single month. And this month, local youth are calling the shots and running the shop.
It's early Sunday morning and these teenagers are heading to work.
This sweater looks so cozy.
This just seemed like a good place to start. It's like a new step into doing something. I like that, that there's somebody who's giving these opportunities to teenagers, you know?
This could be like your first piece of art and everybody wants it.
It's a pop-up project, and this small venture is called Velveteen Vintage. It's just one component of a very big idea.
Hey guys, how's it going? Good, what are you guys doing? The pop-up project is Rise Alliance's effort to give the community an opportunity to test out a retail concept for a month for free. It's a huge project to run your own store.
For Tess and some of her friends, it's an opportunity to get into the workforce.
We're just salespeople, you know. We help out customers, we hang up stock, stuff like that. But it's also, it's like we make art, like there's that cat wall over there.
All the pieces here were donated by members of the public.
We've got some baby denim sort of stuff. It's just a really wide variety. We have a lot of kimonos for some reason. I don't know how that happened.
It's very interesting. It's also very responsibility building, I find. It's a great way of having community. And
after their month is up, Velveteen Vintage will vacate and another retailer will move into the space. And even if retail isn't the field these teenagers want to get into, at least now they've got some experience.
Good place to start, like a stepping stone, and it's just fun. It's a nice thing to do. It's just enjoyable. I really like it here.
In Vancouver, I'm Melanie Pineda for The Express.
Velveteen Vintage is looking for skateboard deck donations so that they can paint them and resell them. You can also go to blog.rise.ca to find out about other stores that'll be popping up. You're watching The Express, and today we're at the Vancouver Mini Maker Faire. Coming up, we're going to be hanging with Disaster Area, guys that like to find new ways to blow things up. Seriously. But right now, we're learning about the crossovers between inventions on Earth and inventions in space.
Well, hello there. It's Cronin here at the H.R. MacMillan Space Center for The Express. Now, often people will ask me in the street, what has space done for me? And I'll say, well, I don't know, what do you think space has done for you? And a lot of people will say, well, they gave us freeze-dried food and Velcro. And you're half right. Velcro, not actually invented for the space program. It was invented by a scientist back in 1955. And it was used as an alternative to zippers. Now, the space program is associated with Velcro because NASA started using it in the 70s as a fantastic tool to keep things from floating around up in space. Now, you'd think that that would mean that people would be buying Velcro like crazy, but in fact, people saw astronauts using it, they just assumed that it was priced out of reach for regular individuals, which, when technology is developed for NASA, is true. When NASA comes out with something brand new, there's no way that you and I are going to be able to afford them. But I show you Exhibit A. This is a cordless drill. Many of you at home probably have a cordless drill. If you don't, you've probably seen one in use. And in fact, they're in use all over Vancouver because in the construction industry, they're really, really handy. You don't have all these cables going everywhere. Well, that's exactly why NASA developed the cordless drill back in 1981. Now, they were looking for a tool for astronauts to use out in space to do maintenance and repair work on space equipment. Now, when space equipment goes up into space, granted, it's very hard to get to and very hard to repair, especially if you have to use a screwdriver up in space. So the astronauts needed something that was relatively lightweight, easy to use, portable, and powerful. So NASA started developing cordless tools. Now, again, by the time it trickled down to you and I, it was probably 10, 12 years later before we could walk into a hardware store and pick up a cordless drill at a relatively low price. I mean, now you can get cordless drills for $24. They're probably not the best cordless drill, but that trickle-down technology came from the space program. And it's hard for us sometimes to get our head around the huge budgets that NASA has and exactly what it's done for us down here on Earth. But there are many, many occasions, especially in the medical industry, where trickle-down technology has saved lives on Earth, and it was all developed for that space program. So the next time you're out in the backyard building your deck or putting a picture up on your wall using one of these, realize that you're actually holding probably a piece of technology that probably costs millions and millions of dollars to develop, but you can thank NASA for simple tools like this that you probably use in your own home. For the Express here at the HR McMillan Space Center, I'm Cam Cronin, and happy drilling.
The Space Center has summer camps happening for kids. Mid-July, it's Galactic Crusader, and in August, it's Mission Impossible Camp. You're watching The Express, and we've got some fun stuff that you don't want to miss coming up. After the break, why Whistler's newest sport is picking up speed.
It felt really scary at first, but when I went down it seemed really fun.
It's like we sit around in a hot tub looking for really stupid things to do and then do them.
The why and why not of disaster area. The Express. We are your local voice.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by
hairstyling and color services for Shaw TV, provided by the Lounge Hair Studio, loungehairstudio.com.
Today's generation of young people spend the least amount of time outside of any generation in human history. We need to have children out, we need to have people out in order to see the world around that allows us to live. I think something like the Sea to Sky Trail is the epitome of what we need to get people back out into the real world, to see nature as it can be, and something that we are a part of and that we must fight to protect.
Welcome back to The Express at the Vancouver Mini Maker Faire. This is the place for the tinkerers, the hobbyists, the inventors. And as you'll see with our next story featuring the guys from Disaster Area, it's kind of like a science fair meets a circus meets Burning Man. What is it?
What is that?
Why on earth would you build that?
Why wouldn't you build that? It's like we sit around in a hot tub looking for really stupid things to do and then do them. Most important thing is all the details, it just doesn't mean anything. It goes boom, and people like boom. Or actually goes whoosh, whoosh.
We've got 8 fire extinguishers converted to Spitfire now. And it's controlled by this Fisher-Price keyboard. Parents love it, the kids love it.
Great lesson for the kids, right?
It's a great lesson for the kids.
I want to make things go boom.
Or whoosh. Craziness! And we keep it going, moving from the fire to the ice with our next feature. Not so much about technology, but definitely technique, especially when you consider you're traveling at 150 plus kilometers an hour down a steep sheet of ice. The best part is, it's not hard to find people that want to do it.
Big Summer is brought to you by Cultus Lake Water Park, BC's #1 water park.
I do soccer, taekwondo, and I want to just try something new for a change.
And that's why 8-year-old Dorita Mangotti suited up for a school day with the Canadian National Luge team at Myrtle Phillip Elementary School.
It felt really scary at first, but when I went down it seemed really fun. And I wanted to do it again, and I might ask my parents if I could try it out.
Did you guys like that video?
Dorita's sentiments are exactly what Olympian Jeff Christie wants to hear, because that is what today's Luge Camp School Tour is all about. An introduction to luge that will hopefully get kids taking advantage of the Whistler Sliding Center, a legacy from the 2010 Winter Olympic Games.
This is where your first luge experience happens. How'd you start skiing? Well, I just started going down the hill. How'd you start biking? Well, I started biking. You know, I just hopped on it. So, well, how do you start luging? Well, you just hop on the sled. Is it that easy to do? You bet it is.
In addition to the ramp setup, other team members, such as 2011 World Cup gold medalist Alex Go, broke down the components of a luge sled, as well as the equipment the team wears.
So we also have pads on our hands. Really it is. It's just learn what luge is. Learn the fun, learn the enjoyment, and see if you want to take it from there.
Assemblies like this will hopefully encourage kids to take advantage of the luge recruitment camps this summer at the Whistler Sliding Centre on July 16th, August 27th, and September 17th. The only qualifications a child will need is a desire to learn.
And they're going to give you an opportunity to have your first try in luge. We didn't start saying we're going to the Olympics. That's kind of the message that we want to get across today is come out and give it a try. Whether it's you do it for 1 season, 2 seasons, whatever, or if it leads you right to the Olympics in 2022, it doesn't matter. Let's just give it a shot.
Some audience members have already done so.
Oh yeah, I've seen them quite a few times. One of them, Sam, he was our coach, and when we went to Calgary.
You know when your plans are? Like, do you have a schedule yet for the year? Or?
I don't think so, but I think we're coming up to Calgary like twice.
Reed Watts, along with 2 other Myrtle Phillip Elementary School students, are members of the BC Development Luge team.
My dad took me to watch the bobsleds. I thought it was incredible, and it was just so cool just watching them bullet down. My mom signed me up because I just kept coming here and took the first run, and I fell in love.
Whether on runners or rollers, falling in love with luge is what this steadily growing sliding community aims to do. From Whistler, I'm Nicole Fitzgerald for Big Summer. Big Summer is brought to you by Cultus Lake Water Park, BC's #1 water park.
Both adults and youth can join in on the fun. The Whistler Sliding Centre is open daily for tours starting on July 1st. And what else is happening this summer? Well, we've got some ideas with our Cultus Lake Big Summer Spotlight. Enjoy an action-packed day of fun for the whole family at the Western Canadian Flag Football Championships. Held at the exhibition fields in Abbotsford, the day includes kids' activities, raffles, trophies, and the fastest man competition. Join in the ultimate celebration of music, food, and culture. The Surrey Fusion Festival features more than 40 international and local artists, along with a fusion of 30 pavilions and exhibitors. Ashe Capoeira and the city of Vancouver are hosting an Afro-Brazilian block party on Granville Street. The event includes performances of traditional dance, music, and of course, capoeira. And that's it for today's Express from Vancouver's first mini maker fair. We're going to leave you with a look at the local art scene in Abbotsford, and we'll see you next time. Do you think it's weird that I still feel like blowing things up?